on the YouTube. Are we actually live? There we go. Okay, let's make sure this works first before I start off the podcast. Sorry, everyone, for the technical difficulties if you're actually listening to me right now. We're here. All right. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Jackie.
Okay, we're gonna start
Are we
this.
live on
We are
YouTube
we
now?
are we're live on everything now. All right.
Yay.
Welcome to the Rocker Skating Podcast, sponsored by John Wilson Blades. And it is time for Michelle Ellis to be back. And Michelle Ellis is on a blank screen because she's too camera shy.
I don't want to be recognized the way that you're recognized at skating events. I enjoy my anonymity. Yeah.
Weren't
Um,
weren't you on video for the run through on one of the lures?
Behind a paywall on the Patreon.
I
You have to pay $5 in order to see my face.
well,
Um,
there's no
yeah.
payment for this one.
I'm also completely exhausted after 3.5 weeks in Milan and then, like a full day of travel to get home. So,
Yep, as am
hey.
I. As am I. Well, we have a lot to cover today, but if you all have listened to all of the recaps and the live episodes that I did in Milan, you will have known all of the recapping. So we're not going to do that because that's going to take like 5 hours
Or more.
or more. Um, Lots of time. But what we're going to do today is really talk about the Olympics and talk about the experience of it all. We're going to hit on some of our memorable moments of all of the events, and we'll sort of go one by one. But what we won't do is go program by program because that is a lot. That is a lot. But Michelle, when did you get back? Yesterday?
Yesterday I left at 6:30 a.m. from my hotel. My flight left at 11 a.m. and I got in at 8:30 p.m. into Sacramento.
Oh
So
wow!
I had many, many hours of flying.
I also left at
Um,
6:30 a.m.
well, NBC picked us all up a lot earlier than I thought was
Oh,
probably
right.
necessary.
You left a
But in the
hotel.
end,
You left a hotel at
yeah,
6:30.
yeah, the plane left the ground at 11 a.m. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
made my
left the
flight with
hotel.
plenty of time.
I left the hotel at like
Hmm
4:30, and I got to yeah,
Oh
um,
God.
yeah,
I mean,
got
that was probably really miserable, like thing to think about, but in the end, it came out brilliantly because of the blizzard, and I think tons of people
oh
were stranded in Milan.
totally.
So,
Our friend Nick McCarville is stranded in Milan. I think he ended up taking a
poor
day
Nick.
day trip to like Verona so that he could go do something different than Milan.
Oh,
Um,
I'm gonna light a candle for him tonight.
I know, I know. It's at least the snow has stopped here.
Hmm
Do you feel anywhere near recovered?
No,
Okay.
I do feel recovered from my descent into Atlanta, though, which was terrifying. Atlanta did not get any snow, but they got crazy wind, and I did not hold on to my stomach on that descent. I
Oh,
apologize to the very kind Italian man sitting next to me, but yeah,
oh,
I and as a result, I did not watch the closing ceremony. I was too busy trying to keep my stomach together.
oh man. All right. Well, glad you're back in.
TMI.
Yeah, back. Glad you're back in one piece.
Yeah, my
Um,
inner ear has settled down, but my body is still in Milan.
yeah. No,
So
I hear you. I mean, you and I were in Milan for 3 weeks. You were there, I think,
yeah.
a day or maybe a day and a half earlier than I was. So
Hmm
you were even there longer. But I think behind the scenes, what you don't see is all the stuff that we all do. I mean, you obviously, listeners, probably see all of my typing. Um, but like Michelle and I and a lot of the NBC researchers, the let's just say the volunteers knew us very well because we were
Yeah,
almost always the ones
always.
who were in the rink,
Yeah,
um, the practice rink, the main rink. Uh,
yeah,
you know, it was it became a bit of a family of sorts, a dysfunctional family.
yeah.
Um, but sometimes we'd be joined by other journalists, sometimes we'd be joined by other photographers, but it's always us. And I think
Mm-hmm.
half of them were like, "What are you actually doing here?"
Yeah, yeah. We were there
So
constantly, all day. I mean, I can't tell
yeah,
you how many times I brought Jackie a frizzante water and a pack of wafers from our catering.
yeah, yep, yep.
It was like
That was
hours
yeah.
and hours of practice.
I mean, one of the things that I always take with me from the Olympics is the like one or two skaters that I keep seeing over and over and over
Mm-hmm.
again because they're in the team event, they're in the individual event.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, this time around, it was Ruyang Zhang and and
Triple sow,
her
triple toe.
Madonna and her Madonna Frozen program and her triple sow triple toe. There
Triple
were
sow,
so
triple toe.
many of them
So many. I mean,
to the
she's
point where
probably done
you,
5 in the last 10 minutes.
yeah, yeah, exactly. She's still doing them. She's probably still on
Yeah.
the practice rink doing them. Um,
Yeah.
it was a thing.
I mean,
Should
yeah,
we?
I was so delirious from seeing so many triple sow, triple toes that I started like really cheering for her in the empty practice rink. Every time she did it, I was like, yes, woo!
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah. I
You
love
know
her.
what?
She
Yeah,
was
same.
so fun to watch here.
She's just she was so happy to be there. She was always excited to be
Mm-hmm.
on practice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and she was there from beginning to end. And I remember
Yep.
in uh in Pyeongchang, it was Kaori Sakamoto who took that honor.
Yes.
Like I remember
Yes. Oh,
all of us
Cowrie.
sitting there
Uh-huh.
watching her do all of her, skating drills and watching her on the
Yeah.
clean ice, just like
Yeah.
doing all these curves and beautiful
Mm-hmm.
edges and everything. And who would have thought 8 years later we would see Kari Sakamoto win a fourth medal at
Mm-hmm.
the Olympics, third and fourth,
Yeah. Third silver.
third
Stabbed me in the
silver.
heart.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But let's rewind
Mm-hmm.
back to the team event. Um, I I thought that was a great start to the Olympics, and I know there are a lot of people
Yes.
who are like the team event should go after the individual event, and I have thoughts on that one. But let's actually start
Yeah.
by talking about like what were some of your highlights from the team event that were just
I
really
mean,
fun.
I made a list. Like, I had a running list throughout the Olympics of like what my favorite performances were, and I just went through right now and picked like what the top 5 were, and 3 of them were in the team event.
Wow, wow.
It was like a rip roaring start. It was great. I mean, obviously Yuma Kagiyama short program in the team event.
Mm,
Out of this, that was like some of the best skating I've seen this cycle. It was exquisite, and I just thought like, oh my god, it's happening, it's happening.
yeah.
It literally did not happen again after that short program, but the short program was brilliant.
He was so good, so confident.
Oh
It's like
yes,
ready
that
to
was
just
so
rock
good.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, the surety in like every movement and just the finesse was just off the Richter scale. Um, Guinard Fabry team free dance was beautiful. I had
Mm.
that music, that last piece of their music with Georgia singing. I had that in my head for the next like 2 weeks. I would just be walking down the street and I could hear it. It just like gets into your bones. The way that they skated it so well, the crowd was so behind them. I was so happy for them. And them, the two of them, and their coach, Barbara Fusar-Poli, screaming in the kiss and cry throughout the whole team event for everybody. It was like they were like, you know, the parents of the team. And that was fantastic. And then, of course, Rizzo free skate and his, not just the celebration at the end, but like every jump he was landing
Yeah.
and the box screaming, the Italians in the box screaming for him. That, I mean, that was like the Chill was talking about it. The energy in that moment was incredible.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean,
I think I was more excited for Italy winning bronze than for anyone else in the Olympics.
yeah. Well, I mean, there, we've seen this a number of
Dramatic
times.
pause.
Yeah. We've seen this a number of times
Mm-hmm.
with the team event being where
Mm-hmm.
some of the skaters just have these out of this world skates and then they can't replicate it
Mm-hmm.
in the individual events. And I
Yeah.
don't really know if switching the team event to the end would actually change that. Bear with me here because
Mm-hmm.
the team event has a certain kind of energy that the individual
Mm-hmm.
events don't have because you've got your teammates there because they're so friggin' loud. Like
Mm-hmm.
the energy in the arena for every single team was just so different than in the
Mm-hmm.
individual events. And I wished the individual events would have that, but because the team event is so condensed and it's literally, in the short program, it's 10 programs, 10 programs, 10 programs, and you're done. And a lot of them are like some of the best in the world, if not the best in the world, right? In ice dance, in the rhythm dance, you literally had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skating in the rhythm dance that would end up
Mm-hmm.
being in the individual event. And it's like, it's this whole thing where you just start off with a very different kind of energy. And even if you would have put the individual events at the front, you may not
Mm-hmm.
replicate that. Now, I understand
Yeah.
also the close back to back, especially for the first
Mm-hmm.
two events with the women and the men, and then even with pairs and women, the difficulty with the timing is that you are literally there all the time. Like Ru Yang Zhang,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like there were so many of the women who did either one program or both programs. Um, but four of the five final free skate countries, right, had a double
Mm-hmm.
women's free skate or
Mm-hmm.
program, right? That the if you're not skating in the first week of the individual event, you're skating the second week of the individual event. The issue is actually regulating your energy and making sure that you properly come down from the high of the team event, like
Mm-hmm.
reset yourself and then go into the individual event with the same kind of like energy and motivation. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it doesn't happen. Like we saw that with Yulia Lipnitskaya back in
Yeah.
2014, and we saw that with Marina Gasu in 2018, and like there are these
Yeah.
there are just these like
Gabby Daleman, 2018.
yeah, like just like
Mm-hmm.
the inability to really figure out how you temper and reset.
Mm-hmm.
And I think those are all really good reasons why the team event should be late because the individual event, should in a lot of ways take up the
Mm-hmm.
the main energy for this very
Mm-hmm.
generally individual sport. But my one logistical issue is that the team event is great at the beginning because it's short.
Yeah.
Like it literally starts like the day of the opening ceremony. And so you
Yeah.
can't do, even if you put the pairs short program there, you are having to do what, 5 warm-up groups of pairs
Mm-hmm.
short programs, and you have to have all of them there. And then you have to
Yeah.
have, like all of that stuff. And the very first day of the team event, you had what you had three groups. Well, you had three events, and
9 pairs.
yeah,
Would
and
be 10, but
they were
yeah.
also like they were different, right? Like you
Yeah.
didn't have all of the athletes go. Anyway, the logistical part of having the individual events first actually makes it hard to sort of schedule all that stuff around. Can it be done? Probably. Could they
Yeah.
move the individual events to the day after the opening ceremony? Probably. But there's also just the fact that even if it's the day after the opening ceremony, you can't, like, if you're a pair, you can't go to the opening ceremony. And there are a
Yeah.
lot of skaters who didn't go to the opening ceremony because they were prepping for the next day. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is a lot. I think the skaters would prefer it to be later in the schedule. I do wonder if they can like figure out how to schedule it properly so that it actually works.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested in hearing what the skaters feel about it. I mean, I know some of them have complained about the schedule, but I also think it's like, for a lot of them, it's exciting and it builds up that momentum. And, I think gives them like an opportunity to get comfortable on Olympic ice. I think for Alyssa, we really saw that work out for her because she had some uncharacteristic issues in her short program in the team event that I think I would probably put down to nerves. And then, went out for her individual event and was just absolutely foot perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they should survey them and see what they
I
see what they
know.
feel, see what they think. I do think it'd be fun to close with a team event, but you know, um, it's tricky. It's tricky with the schedule and some of these things like I I have I, I have mixed feelings about it, like whether I would want to have do the team event and then have to skate later or go back to
Mm-hmm.
back really quickly. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's all really challenging. I mean, and
Yeah.
they train for it, but it's rough.
Yeah.
Um,
I was looking back at the results from the first two team
mhm,
events, and I remember there being more switching in of I saw more switching in of
mhm,
skaters than I do now. Partly
mhm,
because I think the federations have now better understood the strategy of the whole thing, and they're like, oh, no, 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 no,
mhm.
we can't we can't put someone who's gonna not get us the points, right?
Mhm.
And so like I remember when in Pyeongchang when Canada decided to only sub one in, right? It was they
Mhm.
only subbed in Gabby Daleman slash
Women.
Caitlin Osman for
Yeah.
the women. We were all like, wow, they're really
Mhm.
taking everybody like the very top in there. And now we're seeing that a lot more. We saw that with Japan. We saw
Yeah.
that with the US.
Mhm.
Like if Italy could have done it, they would have.
Yeah.
I mean, they only had one dance and they only had one
Mhm.
woman, and they put in their best pair and they put in uh
Mhm.
their two guys, right? Like they only subbed in one too. Like there was a
Yeah.
lot fewer substitutions that were made, and the teams really were trying to put out their very best.
Yeah.
And I go back that there are a lot of people ask me about Japan and whether it was the optimal decision for them to sub in
Mhm.
Shun for Yuma, knowing that Yuma has a higher ceiling.
Yeah.
But
But Shun had better scores this year.
exactly. The fact of the matter is, if you looked numerically at what they've been doing this
Mhm.
season, Shun was the best choice given
Mhm.
consistency. And he nearly beat Ilia in that free skate. And if
Yeah.
it weren't for those spin levels and the step sequence that he was just like all kinds of rickety on, it would have been a heck of a lot closer, right? Given how he skated.
I think Yeah, I think that the substitution in that we like heard the most negative feedback for was Canada, and the fact that they did not put Piper and Paul in for the free dance when they were in striking distance. It's like
Yeah.
they stuck by this decision they had made long before the
Right.
Olympics
Right.
that they were going to put Lajoie Laga in, and it felt kind of like, okay, so you guys are not prioritizing trying to get a medal here. But that was an interesting choice because Piper and Paul, having not competed at free dance, then skated, I would say, the best free dance of the night in the individual event.
Absolutely.
Um, and then they got a medal, which was not for sure at all. I mean, that was, it's just kind of an interesting strategic choice.
Right.
Um,
Right. I mean,
yeah.
there were also people who were like, Gilles Poirier should have been in the free dance so that they could build more momentum going into
Yeah.
the individual event. And
Yeah.
turned out they didn't need that.
Yeah.
You just never know with figure skating.
Yeah.
But I also one of the things that came up a lot was the individual countries' strategy and when
Mm-hmm.
they pick all of these things. Contrary to popular
Mm-hmm.
belief, right? Which is that they don't pick anybody until the very end. It's not
Mm-hmm.
that they don't pick anybody until the very end. It's that their entries aren't due until the day before the event starts.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody will conceal their actual entries because they don't want the other countries to know about it. But like as far as I know, US Figure Skating, Skate Canada, uh, JSF, like they all picked their team by
Yeah.
by the end of the Olympic selection that they had, which was
Yeah.
nationals. The U.S. definitely did it. Japan definitely did it. Canada definitely did it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you saw the lack of a substitution for Gilles Poirier was that they
Mm-hmm.
picked Lajoie Laga to be in the team final if
Mm-hmm.
they made it to the team final, and they stuck by it because that was how they were training, and
Mm-hmm.
there was no belief or there was no plan to potentially sub them in based on what it
Yeah.
was that they were doing. Now it didn't
Yeah.
matter in the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Canada wouldn't have been in a medal position anyway, even if Piper and Paul won the free dance, given
Yeah.
how it all worked out. But still, like they
Still
very
felt like
much
they were
were.
conceding a little bit. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I wonder if going forward, as the team event has gotten more clout and more
Mm-hmm.
importance, do you know, do countries actually do more of that prioritization? And in some
Yeah.
ways, like I would actually rather, I'd actually rather the organizers put the team event a little bit earlier than a little bit later. I mean,
Yeah.
like we see this in the Summer Olympics with like soccer starts like 2 or 3 days before the opening ceremony.
Yeah.
Like if the team event started a day before the opening ceremony or 2 days before the opening ceremony and ended and then gave whoever is the first individual event 2 days to actually rest and
Mm-hmm.
reset and restart, that might actually be a more palpable solution to how it works.
Yeah. Well, I mean, contrary to the thought that some of these teams were decided before they got there. I mean, we heard from Ilia's team that it was very much up in the air who was doing the free skate, and I think I haven't heard from Ilia. Maybe I just haven't read his comments whether or not he really wanted to do it or not. I mean, what
Mhm.
we heard from his team is that they didn't really want him to do it, but he did it on the U.S. won. But it's kind of interesting if he felt like he kind of had to make a choice between doing the utmost to prepare for the individual event
Right.
and then coming in for the team.
I mean, if I were
But
Justin Dillon, I would have never even considered subbing anybody in. Like, look at what
yeah, I
happened,
agree.
right?
Yeah.
What
And
happened was
honestly,
exactly what we thought would happen.
yeah, it was also very prescient of U.S. figure skating to put Alyssa in the short program. I was so worried they were going to put Amber because her ceiling is higher with the axle, but I think the stability of Alyssa's, performance, even an offshore program for her was still very competitive. It was smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Team event. I'm sure we're going to have more discussions about this in 4 years when it happens, hopefully.
Yeah.
If the ISU doesn't completely change figure skating in the next 4 years.
Yeah. It was kind of, I mean, I didn't have them on my list, but I have to mention like Ellie and Danny's free skate, which like I could not believe that Ellie stood up on those throws. I mean, we were at
On
God knows so many
everything.
practices of hers.
Yeah.
She could not stand up on those landings.
Yeah.
I mean, she was just wiping, and then they go out to do their program, and she hits them both.
Yep.
That was very impressive. Yeah. I mean, they weren't the best. They were very slow and deep landings, but she was not on the ice. She was standing up. It was crazy.
That's as good as we generally can hope for with Ellie Camp's throws. It's like,
yeah,
they're always a little bit like, is she gonna is she gonna put it on her feet? And she did.
Mm-hmm.
They certainly, I talked about this in the recaps. I definitely would call them the MVPs of the whole thing for Team USA. If they hadn't skated like that in those two programs, the US would have lost. Like, I know it's like a whole team thing, but like they skated beyond their expectations.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas everybody else sort of skated at expectations, and they needed to step it up. Somebody needed to step it up.
Yeah.
Because of all of the things that happened.
Yeah. I mean, especially like Amber being third in the free skate. I mean, I think she was someone who went a little below expectations, and it was, if they hadn't done what they'd done, that would have been it.
Yeah. Right.
That would have been it.
Well, and
it's crazy.
It also required, that's the thing, right? Like in most situations, Amber's 137 or whatever would have been perfectly fine for second place. But Gubanova skated so well that she skated like a personal best. And like those are the scenarios at an Olympics that you really have to you have to be prepared for. And
there's a lot of like little Olympic moments in the team event that I feel like are just so a result of the team support and enthusiasm for each other. And that's kind of what makes it like exciting right at the beginning, because it really gets us into the Olympics.
Yeah. Laranaki Gutman's short program was electric.
Was so good.
Like
so
finally she goes over 70 points, and it was so good. I like it really was.
Maddie Skizas should have been on my list too. Her team short program was incredible. First of all, the wrong music being played and her very, immediately going and correcting them. And then like her like kind of mean mugging the music table as she's setting up her first jump, and then skating so well.
And
getting off the ice saying, I love the team event. Yeah. And then her reaction to her low ball score. Oh my God. That whole thing, it was incredible television. It was great. Great. And our little podcast fave Gia Shin just being amazing in that short program and creating some drama with her like fourth place finish. I mean, I enjoyed the team event being first very much, but I appreciate also the skaters' perspective that it's like, I wish we didn't have to do this right away.
Yeah, agreed. I as a viewer, I loved that we start off with a bang. Like it really was an electric start to what would be a whirlwind of an Olympics in figure skating, as it always is.
Yeah.
And let's start with the dance.
Oh my God.
You know what? I'm going to start with the rhythm. I'm going to start with the rhythm dance. Let's start with the rhythm dance.
Okay.
Because I feel this feels deja vu from 8 years ago, where I was so like, oh my God, all these Despacitos and all this like it's all the same Latin music that we're hearing.
There were only like
over
17 Ricky Martin programs this time.
Yeah, I know. No, there were 3, which was hilarious.
That's it. I know.
Yeah, that was it. And I got to these Olympics and I thoroughly enjoyed the music selections in the rhythm dance.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also appreciated the in-house DJ playing all the music we weren't getting in between. We heard a lot of Ace of Base.
I know.
We heard a lot of Believe by Cher. Yeah.
Yeah. The one of my highlights from all the entire thing was still the back to back to back of Zinkas Kolesnik doing their Belle Biv DeVoe, and then Reed and Ambrulevicius doing I'm Too Sexy, and then Piper and Paul doing Supermodel. Like, the catwalk. Like those three going back to back to back, and I think they did. Definitely Zingas Kolesnik and Reed Ambrulevicius did go back and back to back. Was so electric. They were all so good, and it was Piper and Paul did that Supermodel program the best that I've seen them do it. And
It was so much better than the team event. It was so good. I mean, that was by far the best of the season. It was great.
Yeah.
I honestly thought they were a little bit underscored. I didn't really understand why they were getting an 86. I thought it should be a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Scoring at this Olympics was interesting, but
yeah,
that was the best for them by far.
That program finally figured itself out, and it a lot of it was Piper. Piper really carried that program because she gave it face, she gave it the attitude, and it was fantastic, really fantastic to see.
I
a
loved
lot of really good skates.
Response online to it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a blonde girl and a gay can accomplish anything together.
And then, of course, the number of people who still had to justify that Paul Poirier engaged to a man is not straight.
Oh my God, yes. The women were so thirsty for him. I loved it. Wait, didn't someone tweet like they saw someone in front of them in the stands Googling Paul Poirier girlfriend?
No. I had coffee with
Poirier have a wife.
I had coffee with Paul afterwards, and he was a little flabbergasted about the whole thing too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was great. And then there was actually, besides the three Ricky Martins, there was a lot of variety going on in that. I wish there were more variety. But like that theme was made for people of our generation because we were 90s teenagers. And I appreciated it. But we're going to go back to a waltz next year. Hopefully that's what's going to happen.
Thank God. That we're going to see some raggedy golden waltzes though. These teams are out of practice. That dance is hard. It's funny. I grew up watching the Golden Waltz, and everybody's competed it over the years. But then you go and watch Klimova and Ponomarenko do it, and you're like, none of these people know how to do this dance. It's it's freaking hard.
Compulsory dances are so those really difficult compulsory dances are so tricky, tricky to do.
Yeah. The Golden Waltz has so much weird stuff in it too, and there's just all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. So, we'll see what happens next year.
Yeah. I think of all the performances that Fournier, Beaudry, and Cizeron had at the Olympics, their individual rhythm dance was probably the best one. I had not seen them skate live before this Olympics, and it was really interesting watching them practice because they are so unbelievably aggressive in practice to the point where I felt like Guilluame was almost being reckless. I mean, they were so throwing down every single practice. It was unbelievable to watch them, how good they were, how aggressive they were. And then I felt each time they competed, they really held back from what we'd seen in practice.
Yep.
And I thought the individual rhythm dance was probably the closest we got to what we saw in practice, but still was not that level.
It was still 80%, I thought. like the team event version of that rhythm dance was like 60%. Like they were so
Yeah.
tight. Guillaume
Yeah.
especially was very tight.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and you saw it in the twizzles, you saw it in the lifts, you saw it in just like their power. Like you said, they are so assertive in practice.
Yeah.
And you don't see that kind of assertiveness in the actual event. And it really
Well,
does.
yeah, we didn't see it in Milan. I haven't seen them in person
Right.
elsewhere.
Yeah.
But that was very like pronounced to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, yeah. Another wonderful result of the rhythm dance is our faves from Sweden with their Ricky Martin program made it into the free dance. I wasn't quite sure they were going to, but some other teams unfortunately helped them out
Right.
and they got in. And I loved how they, Mila Rudreitan and Nikolai Meyerov, I'll say their names, they like kissed at the end of their program. And then it was like on the front page of a Swedish newspaper the next day. It was adorable.
It, the
Yeah.
the entire arena went out of their minds when they kissed at the end of the
Yeah.
rhythm dance. I'm
Yes.
like
Yeah.
this is the first time you've seen people kiss. Like, but I guess it
Yeah.
was
I don't
early
know.
on, right?
Yeah. And I feel like with like, I don't know, I want to say like normies, people that don't watch skating all the time, like the idea of like a couple that skates together actually being in a relationship, they find that like really sweet.
Yeah.
I know like of my friends, it's like when I make them watch dance, they're like, are they dating? Are they married? Like it's like special to them. And I had the opportunity to finally meet Mila and Nikolai. I'd never interviewed them before as a dance team and talk about like their partnership and how they came together. And it's really, I mean, they're skating to Romeo and Juliet, and it's like their tryout was even star-crossed. Like just from their first steps on the ice together, they described this like instant chemistry and connection they had. Like just like their personalities and their skating skills. It was really cool, and I could understand after talking to them why they've made so much progress in such a short amount of time together.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
I'm an even bigger fan than I
weren't
was.
you also saying
Before,
Tracy
so.
Wilson was like a really big fan of theirs?
Yes, yes. It was delightful having Tracy at these Olympics. I haven't worked with her on commentary since like Sochi, and to have her at practice and like watch all these teams practice with her and listen to her reaction to them was just like I was so lucky. I was so happy. It was great. But yeah, she loved them and thought that they were just so talented. And yeah, it was cool getting to experience all of that with her and through her lens.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um, I was sitting next to Nathan Chen a few times during the event, and
yeah, we got you on our show.
you got the side of my laptop on the show.
Yeah, we got your elbow on your laptop, but I
Oh,
was like,
you got my
next to
elbow.
Jackie.
Oh
Look
my
for
god,
Jackie.
you got my
I'm pretty
elbow.
sure we got your elbow. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Famous elbow.
but no, but Nathan was like, I don't think he's ever watched so much dance in his life. He
Yeah.
watched the entirety of the rhythm dance and the free dance.
Wow,
And
we got him.
when Nikolai and Mila came out and skated, he was like, "Didn't I compete against him?" Like, yes, you did.
Yeah.
Um, and he said, wow, he is a really good dancer. Like, he's like,
Yeah.
I don't know that much about ice dance, but like he obviously worked with Shaylin Bourne, who is an ice dancer and like understands all of
Yeah.
like the like how she moves and stuff. And he looked at Nikolai and was like, this kid's good.
Yeah.
So that was something. And then I told him about Alexander Meyerov. He was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
they're brothers."
Well, it's funny because Adam Rapon was up in our booth watching, and he was like, he looks amazing, like about Nikolai. He looks like he's 18 years old. He looks so young. And then we realized like later on, he was thinking of Alexander Meyerov. Like he thought that, I was like, no, there's another one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Very different people, but very similar people.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to talk about the results of the free dance, and I'm
Yeah.
curious to hear your thoughts on it. My take on it was Chock and Bates skated incredibly well, like almost as well as they could have skated, whereas
Mm-hmm.
Fournier, Beaudry, and Cizeron had three visible mistakes, two of which I saw. The third one I didn't see until I looked at the replay because I was like literally right on top
Mm-hmm.
of them as they were doing their twizzles
Yeah.
and their serpentine steps, so I couldn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I thought Piper and Paul should have won the free dance. So those were my three thoughts from the
Yeah.
event, and I thought overall, Chock and Bates deserved the win over Fournier, Beaudry, and Cizeron, if only by the point margin that they were beaten by, because of the mistakes and because of the tentativeness of the whole thing. Um,
Yeah.
but would love
I
your thoughts on
went
it.
and yeah, I rewatched the top three free dances today on YouTube on like the Olympic channel, because in the moment when I was working on it, I really watched Piper and Paul closely, and I was so engaged in their program. And then the entire like next two skates, I was watching, but I was also like keeping track of scores, comparing scores, crunching numbers. So I wasn't like fully just immersed in watching. I agree, Piper and Paul, they were so good. They had the freedom and the emotion in their skate and just like just living in that performance. I don't really understand why they scored so far behind Chalk Bates. I mean, I would have had them closer to where the French were. They were just they were great. It was the best they've skated in a long time, and it was just beautiful. Um, Hey, I do feel that, oh my gosh, it's like hard to say this. I do think it was right that the French won overall. I will say I do think it was judged on practice a little bit. Like I mentioned, the practice was so out of this world. I really feel like the judges came to that free dance expecting to give them a 138, a 139, then saw the mistakes and then brought their scores down on those elements that had the mistakes and everything else just flew. I think that their ice coverage, their power, their skating, if you really look at the like 1 foot turns and the way they move through that, I can really understand why they were kind of just held and judged on a different echelon than the other two teams. And the scores did account for the mistakes. Like if you looked at those elements, they were accounted for. It's hard for me to decipher like what I think should happen versus like what I knew was going to happen and then saw happen. Like I was very like I think clear with like NBC and like in our production meeting before the free dance. I'm like the French need a major error, like a major error on an element. A bunch of little mistakes aren't going to be enough. And I feel like I came to that conclusion just by looking at season's best scores and the way teams were scoring. Like if you looked at Guillaume and Laurence's season best scores on their free dance elements, the first like three or four of them they got at the Grand Prix final. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like they were on track to get that like 138 plus score at the final until they had the mistake. So and then when you looked at like the way the scores were coming in the rhythm dance, Maddie and Evan got like season's best scores on like their first three rhythm dance elements in the team event. And then in the individual event, they were like half a point off each one of those elements as they came in. And I feel like that just showed like what the judge's mindset was. So it's like I could tell the panel was planning to put them second. Whether I thought they
Mm-hmm.
deserved to be second is like hard for me to
Mm-hmm.
hard for me to say.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Yep.
I yeah, but I I think the French needed to have. I saw the mistakes, and I do think the mistakes were accounted for. I think they needed to make bigger mistakes to lose. Um, it's hard too because I feel like Maddie and Evan were very clean. They really did everything they could do. I just feel like their ice coverage and their speed and just the power and the depth of their edges, it just wasn't the same. Um, it's hard, and it was really hard seeing how upset they were afterward. That was like
Mm-hmm.
crushing.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like terrible for them. And it kind of made me question my feeling going through watching the programs and like my takes on what was happening. And it was like, I don't know, it was emotionally very complicated. But yeah,
Yeah.
I, I still don't know definitively what
I,
I feel. Yeah.
yeah. I think the thing that I have continued to talk about this season especially is one of the big reasons that ice dance has evolved the way that it has evolved over the past 20 years as the IJS has taken a foothold is because all of these things are judged element by element. And in order for you to get big scores, you have to do very well on the elements. And that's what teams like Chock and Bates, Fear and Gibson, that's what they really thrive on, right? To compensate, if you will, for some of the things that they're not as good at as some of the other teams. And so that's the thing. The whole thing about like Maddie and Evan and Lila and Lewis are like very good at taking feedback and incorporating it into their routine, their programs. That is one of the reasons why both of those teams have had the success that they've had. And you know, the fact is that there are things that Chock and Bates do that are some of the best in the world, including the lifts. And I think as Laurence and Guilluame are,
You say that, but that is not actually what's reflected in the season's best scores.
That's what that's the thing that I had kind of issues with here is that as much as Laurence and Guilluame are superior in things like twizzles when they do them well and 1-foots when they do them well, right? Maddie and Evan are superior in the lifts when they do them well, and the creativity of those types of elements that I don't think that is properly reflected in the scores that we have been seeing for those individual elements relative to all of the other teams. That's one of the things that, like, even if you give them lower component scores on their skating skills, for example, and I agree with you that their skating skills are probably scored a bit too high relative to everybody else. They should be compensating for it by the creativity and the difficulty of these very big elements, right? The lifts, the choreo sequences, and all of those things that they do work a lot on. And it shows when they do it in their programs that that they don't maybe properly get credit for. So I don't know. It's a little bit of what do you do with that, right? Because on one hand, we know that some of their scores are over what they should be, and then some of their scores are lower than what they should be, and it's like, what do you do with that?
Yeah. I mean, the one thing that like really makes a big difference in the points is the combo curve lift. Both teams have a combo curve lift in their free dance. Curve lift, combo. So it's like an S shape. And Guilluame and Laurence's season best score on that is like almost a full point higher than Maddie and Evan. And that's like a question mark. You look at them and it's like, do you agree with that? Look at it and like compare those. And then when you look at what they actually scored in Milan, the French duplicated their season best score, 15.7. Maddie and Evan improved theirs, but they're still at a 15.29. So it's like, that's a gap that is like a point gap. And it's like,
right.
Where's that coming from?
Well, like you talk about ice coverage, right? That's where Chock and Bates have a lot of ice coverage. That curve to curve combo lift in their rhythm, in their free dance, goes all the way around the rink. Whereas Laurence and Guillaume's is very in the center, and it's very difficult because he is on Hydroblade and he switches curves, but it is also a much smaller lift than Chock and Bates lift is. So again, like, is everything relatively scored in the right way? I just don't really know. And I think that's part of been part of my frustration with the scoring is that it's like, okay, well, this team goes up and they get a 5, or this team goes up and they get a 2. And it's like,
it's sort of like they get a 5 just for doing it.
Right. Exactly. Like, what do you do with that? but it's also the reason why like teams like Olivia and Tim and now Singus and Kolesnik, right? Like they're
Mm-hmm.
getting some of the bigger scores in the free dance because they are being rewarded for some of the like with Zingis and
Mm-hmm.
Kolesnik, the assertiveness of their movement and how they
Mm-hmm.
do their stuff. With Olivia and Tim, some of these things are just like, how are you actually even creating these elements? They're just so
Yeah.
unique.
Oh my
Um,
God. Olivia and Tim's choreo lift at the end of their free dance is like every time I see it, I'm like, how are you doing that?
how does
And then
that
I saw a
work?
video of, yeah, like a couple on Instagram trying to replicate it, and the woman couldn't even get her head in the position. Like she was going to break her neck. And Olivia commented on it and said, please be careful. But even if I could get in that position, I would just be hanging there behind him, just hanging. I couldn't pull myself up. It's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
it's it is the it is what the free dance especially and the IJS is trying to reward. It's trying to not
Yeah.
have these cookie cutter programs that all look more
Mm-hmm.
or less the same. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and you see like the Tashlers doing a 1 foot that is very different
Yeah.
and unique in their movement, and they don't get credit for it. Or
No.
it makes me just kind of like, why are we doing this if we are not
Mm-hmm.
using some of these elements and the way that these are scored to how they're supposed to be used? Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, sure, give Maddie and Evan a +2 on their twizzles because that's what they probably deserve, 2s and 3s
Mm-hmm.
on their twizzles. Give Laurence and Guillaume 4s and 5s if they're doing their twizzles correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Like you should, but you should then also do the same thing for like some of these other elements that are very different.
Yeah.
So it's a conversation I think we are going to continue to have, and I do wonder how it's going to change over the next 4 years as they are
Mm-hmm.
again resetting what ice dance is going to look like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Shall we move on to the men? Oh, I don't have a bottle of wine today, so
Wait, let me see if there's anyone else I wanted to talk about in dance. Let me just check my list. I think we got everybody. I think we got everybody. Hearing LaBouche in the Olympic arena was incredible. And I wore a LaBouche shirt,
yes,
as people may have seen on your Twitter. And I talked about LaBouche so much when Christina and Anthony took the ice. Tracy Wilson was like, and they're skating to LaBouche. I was like, yes, yes, I did it.
I this is a total aside, but I still can't get over the fact that there was one year when Amelie Lacoste, is that her name?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, yeah.
Was it Amelie Lacoste? No. Somebody was skating to, actually it wasn't Amelie Lacoste because they were skating to Amelie. Somebody was skating to Amelie. No.
Yeah.
Somebody was skating to something. No, it was Amelie Lacoste. She was skating to Chocolat. And Tracy Wilson said, and here is skater's name. Skating to chocolate. And I cannot get that out of my head. Tracy Wilson, I love you, but
Yeah.
also she's not skating to chocolate. She's skating to chocolat. Okay.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Uh, oh, Fear and Gibson and their mistake. I,
Oh, that
I,
was. You know what's crazy is that they were cooking that. Lila was cooking that for 2 weeks. Every day in practice, that forward outside twizzle in the free dance,
yeah,
it was getting worse and worse, and she just could not
it was in her
shake
head. It was
that
so in
demon
her
off of
head.
her.
It was so in her head.
Yes, to the point where then she started getting tight on the twizzles in her rhythm dance, which originally weren't bothering her.
Yeah.
And it was awful because that twizzle mistake in the free dance was the worst twizzle she'd done all week. She was working so hard on it, and it was like, oh. And then, we have cameras on all the practice rinks and everything. And my friend was like, she's in the truck working for us during one of the shows, Cindy, and she told me that she could see on the practice rink camera that Lila and Lewis were in there after their event was over working on twizzles.
Yeah.
And Lila was drilling those twizzles, and like Lewis was giving her feedback. It's like,
Yeah.
they work so hard, and it was like, it, to watch that one element just completely unglue them like that was really tragic. Um, yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, I hope they can recover at Worlds. You know, they were also the ones in the practice rank after the event was over too, like over and over again, just like working on their skating skills, working on everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I am pretty annoyed with the way that Lopareva and Brissot were scored at this event. I felt that they were hosed in both programs. I was very frustrated with the numbers they get. I feel like it's kind of political too because they're the number 2 French team. But I would hope that in the next cycle they get more respect and
I
continue
did remember.
doing innovative material.
Yeah, I did remember that their free dance was a little messier than I've seen them.
Yeah, but there were some other messy free dances in this event, and
agreed.
you know,
Agreed.
the rhythm dance was great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay, men.
whose idea was it to have the men's free skate on Friday the 13th? Like, clearly, was this a joke? Like, how many layers of approval did this go through? And no one was like, that's a bad idea. That's a really bad idea. That never happened, you know?
Yeah, it was a little much.
Yu Shang Li of Taipei, iconic qualification for the free skate, incredible videos with his grandmother. Love the pictures of him crying. He was so happy. I'm so happy for him. Props to Taiwan and to him for just making it here. And yeah, skating 2 awesome programs.
Like that
front toe he did in the
best.
free skate was his best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you and I kept sitting there being like, "Oh my God, he shouldn't even do that triple axel because it's not going to get called." And he got a cue on it, and it was great, and he made it into the free skate. He wouldn't have made it into the free skate without that cue triple axel. If he had only done a double axel, it would have been very different.
Yeah.
He skated well. Donovan skated well. Like the first 2 I remember were like, "Hey, we're off to a good start," and then oof.
Short program wise,
Short program was
Torgashev
great.
and Naumov were both amazing.
Yeah.
Naumov was incredible. He was so lowballed. And then Torgashev did 2 very, very strong programs here, which like I didn't know if that was going to happen, and it did.
He also, by the way, finished 8th in the short, 9th in the free, and 12th overall. So Menning
We need
was
the Menning index.
Menning. Oh God, I got to finish that Menning index. I've been tweaking it, but there was just so much ridiculous movement.
Oh my God.
Steven Gogolev got 2nd in the free skate.
If he had gotten a higher level on one of his spins, I think he would have been on the podium.
I mean, it was so close with 3rd, 4th, 5th. It was a point and a quarter between 3rd and 5th. I don't want to rehash the whole thing because you and I are just going to get nightmares. But I do remember the short program being so good for the men.
Adam Xiao and Va.
Oh my gosh.
Who was that? Where did that come from?
And the thing
was incredible.
He's been skating so well in practice this week or that week. I think this week.
Yeah.
That week. And he went out and was just so tight in the opening of that free skate.
Oh.
But his short program was
so good, though.
Phenomenal.
I was like, I really got it. I could see it when he did it. I was like, oh, it's all coming together.
You know who was lowballed? Junwan Cha. He was lowballed.
Oh my God. I was ready to go down there. After he got those scores, I was ready to go down to the ice level and have some conversations. Like those components he got were criminal. I am pressing charges. he was glorious in that
He
short
was.
program.
He really was. That was one
He
of the
was great
best programs.
in both segments. Even when he climbed the wall on his quad toe fall in the free skate, it was fashion. It was great. He was fantastic.
And then we find out, after all of that was done, that his ankle was being drained.
Yeah, he has like necrosis in his ankle or
Oh
something. Oh
my
my God.
God. This poor guy.
Yeah. I mean, you would never know it from his performances.
I mean, look at what happened. He was fourth with a
Mm-hmm.
273.92. Had he been
Yeah.
properly scored in the short program, Junwan Cha would have
He'd
been
have
an
a medal.
Olympic medalist.
I am pressing charges.
Grand theft
Yeah.
larceny.
Yep, totally was.
Grand
The
larceny,
nation of
whatever it's
Korea, South Korea, has been robbed.
called. Yeah, yeah. Steven Gogolev, though.
Yeah.
If
Wow.
there's anyone who has had a dream Olympics, it was Steven Gogolev.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting to do both segments of the team event and then skating that well in the individual event. And his short program going viral in Brazil.
Oh, is that
And
right?
then, yeah, so the
Because he was
host
robbing a
broadcast, I
bank.
saw this. Yeah, I saw this. There's like a lot of aspects to it. Like the host broadcaster in Brazil uploaded it to their TikTok account, and it got like 3+ million views. They liked the concept, the robbery thing. They liked his suit. They liked how handsome he is, and they said he looks like this character named Sanji, Sanji. If you look this character up, it is Gogolev in that program. He is like a very blonde, chiseled, tall guy in a suit who's looking kind of
Oh my
sinister, like he's up to
God.
no good. I mean, it's like crazy. Yeah. Gogolev was fabulous.
He
Fabulous.
was.
He's gonna get a medal at Worlds. This is not our Worlds preview yet, but he's coming for it.
Ooh.
4
Early.
clean programs. Most guys can't even do 2.
And he's got more. He's got more in him
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we know he can do a quad loop
Yeah.
because he also took one of my quad loop pins.
Yeah.
And we know he can do a quad Lutz
And
So-
a triple axle half loop quad sow.
and a triple axle half loop quad sal. I mean, this kid, we knew when he was a junior skater that he was something special, and that he had all
Yeah.
these injuries, and now he's finally not injured.
Yeah. Yeah. He had to spend like 5 years just getting taller and getting
I
injured
know,
and
I
then
know.
not being able to compete. Yeah.
I think these next 4 years, I'm hoping we're going to see Steven Gogolev at his peak, because
Yeah.
he can
go.
really, really be good.
Kirilo Marsak had an incredible short program. That was incredible.
Yeah,
So good.
so much potential, and he's
Yuma-
he's got a beautiful quad Lutz that
Yeah.
that we didn't see in.
We saw a lot of quad lutzes in practice that did not translate to Olympic
Yep,
ice.
yep. Yeah, he had a number of beautiful quad Lutzes in practice.
Yeah.
I took a video of one of them and sent it to him, and he was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Thank you." Like, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
it was very good.
Well, I was up in our booth because the NBC booth was like on the second level, it was pretty high, and I could see this guy in practice doing quad lutzes, and they were gorgeous, and I was like, "Who is that?" And I couldn't see from up above. I just saw he was like a dark-haired guy and very thin. It's like half of the field. So I had to look in the practice groups, and I realized it was Fadir Kulish,
Yeah,
who has his quad lutz is gorgeous.
yeah.
And he unfortunately did not land it in the short program. And, I also want to say in memoriam, Vladimir Litvinsev's Joker program did not see Olympic ice. And that was heartbreaking. But, maybe
I still don't even know
that's
what
why
happened.
everything went so bad.
I know. I still don't even know what happened in that short program. Like, he went and balked on his
Yeah.
the entrance to his quad toe and had to go all the way around and do that quad toe, and I'm surprised he even landed it. And then
Yeah.
the what was supposed to have been triple flip triple toe, it was like triple flip and
Dot, dot,
waited
dot,
for
dot,
like
dot,
10
dot, dot,
seconds
dot,
and then did a
dot,
single
dot, dot,
toe,
single toe. I wish
which
you had
was
sent
what
that single toe to
to
Kaori.
Kaori Sakamoto. Yes.
Hold your landing and do
Yeah.
a single toe.
Like, Kaori, did you not watch Vladimir Litvintsev in the short program?
I wonder if it's because he changed his program and he went back to his old Game of Thrones program, if it threw him off. I don't know. And Volchkova was there. She got her visa. It was like, oh, everything's should be going well, and it's not.
It's very sad.
Yeah. Yuma broke my heart twice. The way Yuma's short program was scoring, he was on track to beat Ilia, because Ilia, I think, was really tight in his short.
Yeah.
And the way Yuma was scoring higher in his first like 3 elements than he even did in the team event. And it's like, they're going to let him win the short program. He's going to win the short program. And then he steps out of the quad sow.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
No, the triple axel.
No.
Triple axel.
Oh, it was a triple axel. It was a quad sow in the
Quad sow in the free skate. That was the thing that just like unraveled the entire program.
Yes. The triple axel. It was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had it. He really did.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This was, I hate to say this was Yuma's to lose after all
It
that.
was. It was his to lose.
And he had the luxury of going before Ilia too. And just, I'll tell you, if like quad sow step out aside, had he just stayed on his feet on that quad flip, because he landed it and he slipped off the edge on the landing because it was too far back. Had he just kept that on his feet, I think it would have been a very different program for him. But once he fell, I think he just it set off alarm bells in his head, and he just really couldn't get it back. And it was like there was one little mistake after another, and you could just see he just it wasn't there for him.
Yeah. I know. I was, oh my God. And Ilia finally going last was like, I don't know how all that happens. So I was thinking about Torino, and I was thinking about how everyone before Plushenko was like struggling. And then I thought about in the women's event, how Nikolai Morozov was watching these women practice and saw they're not doing triples. And he told Shizuka triple double in the short. And then he sees in the free skate and he's like, they're not doing just do triple double. And I'm like, are they telling Ilia to take some content out? Because he really didn't need it. Doesn't seem like they did though, or he wasn't willing to. I don't know if they made the plan before and they weren't going to change it. But once he missed that quad axel, it was like, I thought, oh, he's going to skate well. He's mad.
I know.
He's going to be mad he missed that. But
well, and then he landed the next one just fine. The quadlets was beautiful.
Yeah.
Like that should have settled his nerves.
Yeah.
But I think to your point about the plan, the problem was they didn't have because he has so many permutations that he can do.
Yeah.
They didn't have, as far as I can tell, they didn't have a plan for him to say, this is exactly what you're going to do. Because I think he came down for that quad loop or triple loop. And in his mind, he was like, should I do a triple? Should I do a quad? Should I do a triple? Should I do a quad?
Yeah.
And then he like couldn't make up his mind. And then doubled it.
Double.
And
I mean, I feel like you tell him before he takes the ice, triple axel, triple loop.
Yeah.
And then just do everything else.
Right.
And just be clean.
But I think they wanted the quad axel on Olympic ice because he hadn't done it.
They wanted the 7 quads. Crazy.
Or at least the quad axel.
Yeah. And then Sarah told me she thought that Ilia seemed like he was thinking about where to put the quad axel back in. And that was kind of pulling him off, you know. And then we saw him in practice doing quad sow half loop quad sow step quad axel.
Oh my God.
Was he thinking about that? Like crazy. But
I mean,
anyway,
it wasn't even just the mistakes, right? Like we've seen him like we've seen him do this kind of melty downy kind of thing at nationals. If you remember those two nationals that he won, that like he didn't really skate that well, but at least he was rotating stuff. I think that like there was one nationals where he doubled a couple things, but he was still rotating stuff.
Yeah.
But the singled axle, the doubled loop, the doubled sow, that was a fall without a combination, and then the Lutz that didn't have a combination, like all of that. Like you add all that up, that was 50 to 70 points.
Crazy. Oh, I think I calculated it against his Grand Prix final scores. He gave up 76 points on the jump mistakes, which is like
and he
more
didn't
than most people get in the short program.
He didn't need 76 points. He needed 30. He needed 25 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or 27 points or whatever. Like that was the difference between him and Misha Shaidorov. Like he didn't need to blow it out of the water, and I think that was the biggest thing was like he got 3 quads done. That's all he really needed. If he just did triples for the rest of those, he would have been fine.
Yeah. 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 It's crazy. Now, Shaidorov, like, holy cow. I mean, he looked like he was in shock. One skater after another going after him, going behind him. I mean, he like couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Nobody could believe it.
I know. I love the shot of when he was just sort of sitting there, just like not emoting, like not making a facial expression, and Romanov is whispering in his ear something, and it's like he's like, what's he telling him? Like, you won the Olympics. And Shaidorov's like, who? Like, what? I will say, it warmed my heart to see the support for Kazakhstan in that arena, both in the short and the free. The number of people there that came to support him was awesome. And for him to deliver that way in front of them is like world or not, was just heroic. And this was an incredible victory for Kazakhstan and Kazakh skating. And it's like kind of unbelievable that like he did this. It's like crazy. I was thinking like, what's going to happen? Is he going to get on the podium and get the bronze like Dennis Ten did, his idol? Because like he replicated Dennis's world silver medal when he was like exactly the same age to the day, or some kind of spooky stat. But like crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Crazy. And also that it was so appropriate that Alexei Romanov is his coach.
Yeah.
Given what happened in '94 when Alexei Romanov did a very similar thing, where it was like people weren't expecting Alexei Romanov to win the Olympics.
Yeah.
And he went and won the Olympics. You know, there were just all these other
not
people.
Kurt,
Not
Elvis. Nope. Not Brian.
Nope. None of those.
Yeah.
Not Victor.
I heard Romanov was asking if he was the first Olympic champion to coach an Olympic champion. And I was like, Natalia Linachuk would like a word. But I do think it's the first time in men's, or maybe in singles. I'm not sure.
Interesting.
I'd have to do some historical research to confirm that.
Brian
Definitely
Orser
it's been done
close.
in pairs and dance.
Brian Orser was close.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting stat. But yeah, Misha was he was the one who went out there, had like no pressure on him, was like he was 5th after the short. He's like, I'm gonna do whatever I can. Maybe I'll get on the podium. He gets on the podium. Maybe I'll get a silver. He gets silver. Maybe something will happen, and something happened, and he won the whole frigging thing. Like
crazy.
It was really was something. Oof. So good. So good. And he was so happy. And he still owes me a pin.
Oh, I think that Metelkina made up for him.
I mean,
you got the pin of pins. You got the final boss pin from her.
Sofia Metelkina ran up to me on the ice, like ran up to me. I was like, I have a pin for you. And I'm like, okay, I just got into and you need to go practice, girl. Like, go practice.
She pulls out she pulls out this pin. It's the size of like the Olympic gold medal. I mean, this is like a baseball size pin, and it's engraved and it is beautiful. It's
So
like
nice.
they just gave those away. She's just like, here you go.
No,
Yeah.
she had one of those and she gave it to me.
Wow.
Yeah. I
Wow.
know. I know. It was very nice.
Um,
Very nice of her.
that's wow.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Fancy. What did you say? This is a pin.
It was a pin. All right, let's go to the pairs. Now,
Okay.
now, contrary to what we have been thinking about in our previews,
Yeah.
this pairs event was very good.
It was great. It was great. And shout out to Gallardi and Ambrosini for having the best short program ever. I mean, that was so, I've never, like, the crowd was so engaged from the first, like, note of the music, and they just delivered. It just up and up and up and up, and they were awesome. And I'm
I
so
think
happy that they had that moment. It was
I think that
great.
was a Jean-Luc Baker special, that short program.
Oh,
Yeah, JL doing it. Um, yeah, like
wow. That was a good
the
choice.
those short programs were so good, almost across the board.
Yeah. Until the
And
end.
until the end, the last group was not so good.
Yeah.
But for a very long time, it was really good.
Yeah.
And like the thing that warmed my heart, besides all the really good short programs, was the fact that Deanna Stellato and Maxime Deschamps made it to the Olympics
Yeah.
after that scare of the accident in practice that we still have not heard
Yeah.
all about yet, which we am sure we will hear at some point.
Hmm.
They aren't going to Worlds, so this will be the end of their season.
Yeah.
And is it the end of their career? We're still not sure.
No,
But
I'm sure not. I don't
knowing
know if I'll be
Deanna,
in the French Alps, but Deanna will.
we will both be retired and Deanna will still be skating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they had an accident. She had an accident in practice at home in Montreal,
Hmm.
literal days before they were supposed to come out to to Milan for the team event.
Hmm.
Had to pull out of the team event. Everybody was in pins and needles for days.
Hmm.
And
We were stressed.
we all thought like no news was bad news.
Yeah.
And then it turned out they were cleared to come. And even then we were like, okay, what condition is she in?
Don't
And
come.
yeah,
Please don't come.
like what is going on? And
Yeah.
we know Skate Canada has strict protocols for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And she got here, she got to Milan and looked like nothing had happened.
Yeah. Which is
And
unbelievable. She looked fine.
yeah, exactly.
And she was very sassy about the question she was getting about her injury. My medical records are not your business. It was
I mean,
great. I
they're
loved it.
they're not.
There are privacy laws protecting medical records.
There certainly
Yeah.
are.
Uh-huh.
And then they went out and did a very good short program, and then that
Yeah.
lift came down incorrectly, and it was literally the difference between them
Yeah.
being in 14th place after the short program and like second or third.
Yeah.
Like it cost them that many points, but they were also that close that they really
Yeah.
they really were right there. But you know what? I don't really care because Deanna Stellato is an Olympian,
Yeah.
and it may not have been the ending of the dream that she was hoping for, but at least the ending wasn't that they had to withdraw from the Olympics, which
Yeah.
would have been devastating.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know who was in the top
Yeah.
three? Leah Pereira and Trent Michaud.
Oh my God, that was crazy. And they're the only team of the whole night that got all level fours on their elements, which was like wild. Good for them. It's a lot of work to get level 4s and everything in pairs, and they did it.
Especially that death spiral.
Yeah.
Especially the death
Yeah.
spiral.
Yeah. Trent got into that position and got that level.
Trent. Trent.
Trent. Trent. Yeah.
It was too bad they didn't have it in them in their free skate to skate the way that they could have, but it was
Yeah.
still the best free skate that they've skated kind of all season long. So, I know they were disappointed that they couldn't stay on the podium or even stay in the top 5, but they have to
Yeah.
be happy with how, at least for the short program, how they're being scored and how they're being perceived by the judges. And they told me, they're like, this just motivates us more for the next 4 years. So
Yeah.
uh,
Good.
it's very nice to see their progress. I think they've really put together some great programs this season, and it's becoming their time, which is great. But oh my god,
Yeah.
Riku and Ryuichi's free skate
Oh my
was
god.
it like one of the absolute epic skates of this whole Olympics.
Their free skate was. Their short program was freaky.
Yeah.
That lift coming down, I was like, what is going on? I can't oh, hang on, sorry. I just did the math. If Leah and Trent had done their free skate from the team event in the individual event, they would have been 5th.
Mm.
Anyway, Riku and Ryuchi were foot perfect in practice here. They practiced better than I've ever seen them skate. She was like a foot off the ground on those side by side jumps. Everything was
Yep.
clean.
Yep.
They were like on fire. And for that lift to come down and they're short, it was like, where did this come from? What's
Of
going
all the
on?
things, the lift.
Yes. Like their lifts are so, it's like, what happened?
Yeah.
I don't think they even knew what happened right away. It was like, what's going on? Um, their free skate, I think that's my number one of the Olympics. It sucked that they had to skate the second to last group, but they shut that door and they locked it.
Yeah.
I think if Minerva and Nikita had been absolutely perfect, they had a chance, but they needed a personal best by like a point and a half. So yeah, that free skate blew the roof off the building. It was incredible. New world record under the current scoring system. I mean, unbelievable. The only person that has scored higher, I think, in the history of Coda points is Aliona Savchenko and Bruno Massot. So, yeah, that was awesome. And yeah, their winning by 10 points was, well, 9.5 was more than justified. It was brilliant.
And it also shows the power of well selected music,
Yes.
because
Of all of our Olympic programs, that's the only one that was really delivered in an Olympic way.
that was such an Olympic free skate.
Mm-hmm.
The I will say once again on this podcast that the sound system in that arena was phenomenal.
Wow, yeah.
It made the music sound so good, and it also made the music that was poorly mixed and poorly cut sound really bad.
Yeah. That's that too.
Like
Yeah.
there were a couple of times when I was sort of like holding my ears because it sounded like some of the music sounded so bad in the arena, not because of the sound system, but because the sound system was revealing the flaws of the cuts, and the mixes. Like it was just like not good.
Yeah.
But Miura Kihara's music was it by itself, it blew the roof off, and then the way
Yeah.
they skated to it blew the roof off twice. So yeah,
You know who else had a roof blowing music cut and free skate performance? Was Annika Haka and Robert Kunkel.
so underscored.
That Meatloaf program was incredible. I think the only person that enjoyed it more than me was Tara, who's like obsessed with Meatloaf, and she was like loving it. She was like singing along. It was like, oh my God, that was so good.
And I will say, I have not been convinced of that program all season long. I
Well,
I
I'm
like
always on board with Meatloaf, but
I like them a lot, and
yeah.
I always find them to be underscored, um,
Hmm.
because their elements, like going back to that discussion about element by element, their elements, some of them,
Hmm.
like those throws, are some of the best in the world,
Yeah.
and
And they don't get the
they
GOE
get
they
like
deserve.
twos on them, and I'm like, are you
Yeah.
kidding me? Why are you giving them twos?
Yeah.
Like their choreographed sequence should be getting
Hmm.
fours and fives because
Yeah.
it's difficult, it's musically done well, it's like all of that, and
Hmm.
they get like twos, and what are you
Yeah.
doing? Um,
Yeah.
they're side by side triple sounds. They were well done. They were musically like
Yeah.
done correctly. They were in sync, and then they were getting like plus ones and plus twos. I'm like, what are you like? What are
Yeah.
these scores? Um,
Yeah.
I've all season long I have found that the Meatloaf program to be a little snoozy for about half of it. Like
Hmm.
it starts off really well, and then it's like the middle is like, and then the end is
No.
like full blast. And the way they skated it in Milan was
Yeah.
so good across the
Yeah.
board, and I felt the energy from them throughout the whole thing because literally it's just song. Like there isn't much
Yeah.
that was, I think,
Yeah.
edited from it. Like it was the whole song. Um,
So they
so
talked to me about in how this season they've sort of changed their training so they have more time that is downtime and they're not on all the time at home in practice and that's allowed them to peak better at events. And I feel like that really translated into strong performances here.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. And they also said at the beginning of the season, I think it's Skate America, they told me that they really chose music to be crowd pleasing and they wanted to like entertain the audience. And that was just the both of their programs just really hit in this arena in an incredible way. Um,
It really, there are parallels to their
hmm.
coach Andre Hotarik,
Hmm. Yes.
because they were always the crowd pleasing ones that got underscored.
Hmm.
I thought as well. Like and
Hmm.
I'm talking about Marquet and Hotarik, back
Yeah.
in the day for Italy.
Valentina Marquet.
Valentina Marquet, one of the in arena hosts.
Yeah.
It was nice to see both of them there, but
Yeah.
yeah, like totally underscored. Um,
Yeah.
but also Emily Chan, Spencer Howe, who would have thought they would have an Olympics like this? They were seventh in a
Hmm.
very deep field of pairs, and they skated very well.
Hmm.
And
Yeah. Yeah, they that free skate, I was like, where did this come from?
where did it come from?
I think that they just had a late start to the season because of how much time Spencer missed. And I feel like they finally started gelling at the Olympics.
I know it
That should have
took until
happened like three
February.
months earlier.
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, yeah.
like oh
I,
my God, Emily, you're landing your side by sides.
yeah. Lanier solo triple sow. It's like they
Yeah,
should put triple sow in their short program.
I know.
I don't know.
Uh,
Yeah.
I was very happy for Sway and Han.
Yeah.
Knowing that they came in like they came in very much knowing that a repeat of gold was not possible. Like
Mm-hmm.
for them
Mm-hmm.
skating the way that they did, especially in the free skate, especially after that nasty fall that Wenjing took in the team event,
Yeah.
um,
Yes, that was rough.
and like her
Um,
barely being able to walk at four continents because of that bone bruise, like
yeah.
it's been rough for them, and you know they were still not where they were at their very best, not even
Mm-hmm.
close, but they did themselves proud, I think, and
Yeah.
Changhan can finally put his skates back in the closet and like retire for good while Wenjing goes and sells coffee in her mobile home
Yeah, with her meerkat.
with her meerkat.
I feel I feel like poor Song Han is probably going to like go and have like an elective like foot amputation or something after this. Like I am not skating anymore. You cannot make me go back. Congratulations to him on getting through it and being done. Yeah.
I saw
Yeah.
I saw him after the free skate, and he said hi to me
Yeah.
and literally gave out this like the biggest sigh I have ever seen from
I'm
anybody. It's like,
free.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
It's
Yes.
like when you finish your exams and you're just like, you're done, but like times a million.
The Olympic exams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh, they,
this pairs was just so good.
yeah. Yeah. Sway and Han weren't practicing lifts in their practices. Like they would
Zero.
practice every day and they were doing jumps and throws and no
Zero
lifts.
lifts.
And I was so worried they weren't going to get through them in their programs, but they did. They did.
Yeah.
Um, I'm excited to see the work that Wenjing Sui does as a choreographer going forward. I think that she's done some really interesting stuff so far, and I want to see more from her. And you don't have to be competing at the Olympics forever to put out good material. And I hope she finds satisfaction in working with skaters. And
Yeah.
um, yeah, Conti Machi, I think underperformed in the individual event, and I wondered how much doing the team event affected them, especially Sarah with her knee injury.
Which is
She
so
seemed like
interesting.
she was in pain.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
is so interesting because Sarah was the one in the press conference who said she liked it that she had the team event early
Yeah.
because she
Well, I
said,
think that she got her best skates out of it. That was their best medal chance.
I
Yeah.
know. Um, it was interesting because I thought as the weeks went on for Conti Machi, they were, uh-oh, my battery is about to run out. Hold on, I'll be
Oh
right back.
no.
Okay, we're back. We've been
Yay.
talking for so long that my battery is running out. Okay, so while this thing gets charging, let me restart what I was about to say. Conti Machi, I thought as the weeks were going on in practice,
Hmm.
they were starting to look stronger and stronger in the sense
Hmm.
that I thought Sarah was really feeling like she, her uh her injury was getting more comfortable, her knee was getting more
Hmm.
comfortable, and that she was settling in. And then the actual competition was happening
Hmm.
and it wasn't working. And I don't know what it
Yeah.
was. Maybe they were over practicing given how little time they had to practice over the month of January, and they were getting tired and back to the point of not being able to regulate your energy correctly. Maybe they just
Hmm.
overdid it. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but the week between the team event and the pairs event, I thought they looked really good,
Yeah.
and it just didn't look that way when they were actually competing.
Hmm. Yeah. It looked like almost like she was wincing on her landings, and
Yeah,
yeah.
I do wonder if if they're going to be ready for Worlds. It's 4 more weeks,
Uh,
um, and Rebecca Gilardi told me that she was not going to Worlds. So,
oh.
so
Oh.
Gilardi and Brasini are not going to Worlds, and it was like very very appropriate that they were able to put out two of the best skates in their
Yeah.
recent memory to finish
Mm-hmm.
their home Olympics, and then that's what they
Mm-hmm.
retire on.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I mean, if neither they or nor Kantimachi go to Worlds, like what happens with Italian pairs?
Can we have Charlene and Marco do the pairs event? I'm
I
sure they
know,
could
right?
figure
It's like,
something out.
yeah, Beccari Gorise all of a sudden come back.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see. Hopefully, she gets a little bit more rest, Sarah,
Yeah.
on her knee, and then she's able to come back. But pairs will be a very interesting one at
Mm-hmm.
Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Let's I do. We have so much to talk about with the pairs, but like Pavlovas Vyatchenko was a pair that impressed me so much.
They were so clean.
So
So clean.
clean, so generally like they were just really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved their how much they have grown as a pair. I love the improvements. I love the difference in packaging. I love like everything about how they've
Mm-hmm.
improved over the past year. It's been I am looking forward
Mm-hmm.
to the next 4 years with them because I think they're going to be
Mm-hmm.
a real force.
Yeah. World medalists very
Yeah,
soon.
I think
It's
so.
gonna happen.
I think so. Hase Volodin, like you were saying,
Mm.
they needed to be perfect. She popped a
Yeah.
sow. They were a little tentative on
And
some
she
other stuff.
under rotated the double axle too.
Oh, is that right? I
Yeah.
didn't even remember. Uh,
Yeah. She did that and then the sows were right after. And it was funny because she did that double axle and I'm just like, oh my God, I think that's it. I think that's it. And then she pops the
yeah,
sow and I go, well, that
that's
is
really
it.
it. That's really it.
That's it. Um, yeah.
I do wonder if they should have been silver.
I wonder if they should have changed their free skate.
Oh, totally, totally. Yes,
That memory
I still think
box,
so.
whatever program is just, I was watching it in practice and it's like, this doesn't go anywhere. Um, and especially watching them skate so well in the short program,
Yeah.
with a more dynamic music, I felt like their program they did in the gala was great, and it was like their step sequence had a lot of like emotion and power in it. I'm like, this should be their free skate.
Hmm.
The free skate music is just, ah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
But
they were lucky to get bronze. Honestly,
interesting.
they were fourth in the free skate. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean that short program helped them out a lot. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Given that they were the
Mm-hmm.
only one of the top pairs who actually skated cleanly.
Yeah.
Like those top four, right? Like between Miura, Kihara, Metelkina, Berulava, Hasselvold, and
Mm-hmm.
then Conti Machi. And if
Mm-hmm.
you also count then Stellato Deschamps, right, as your top
Mm-hmm.
five, like they were the only ones who skated clean, and then Pavlovas
Mm-hmm.
Vyatchenko skated clean, and then Pereira Pichot skated clean, right? So,
Yeah.
that really helped them with their medal chances. But
Mm-hmm.
I like the top three could not have been happier with their placements.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
the three of them were over the moon. Obviously, Miura Kihara winning it, right? But like Metelkina
Mm-hmm.
Berulava getting second, Hasselvold getting third, it was one of the happiest podiums I've ever seen.
Yeah. I was the one happy silver medalist.
I know, isn't that
Yeah.
crazy? Um,
Yeah.
every other discipline was a happy gold medalist, a happy bronze
Mm-hmm.
medalist, and then like a
And a very
devastated
sad.
silver
Yeah.
medalist.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Kaori
Oh
Sakamoto.
boy. Oh.
Let's go to the women's.
Uh,
Kaori.
this killed me. This was so hard. It's
Yeah.
like crazy. And uh it's crazy that Alyssa was able to go out and skate with such freedom. And I mean, it's really remarkable. And the fact that she did that, I think, was like the slam dunk she needed to win. But
Hmm.
watching the other women try and be clean and not succeed was really tough.
Yeah.
everyone was really just really focused and locked in and prepared, and just they just couldn't tap into what Alyssa could tap into. It's just interesting. And yeah,
Or
Cowrie was like, she was so nervous. Both programs, you could see it, but in that free skate,
yeah.
and as she was going through it, like you said, you told me not on the podcast, but like the steps, in the steps, you could see her getting tight and thinking. And as she was setting up that combo, I was just like, get through this. You just got 3 jumping passes. And then to like leave out the toe and never add it back in. And I mean, there was nowhere to add it back
There
in.
was
It
nowhere
was
to
like,
add back in.
oh. And then when you calculated that if she just done the single toe, she would have been fine. Oh, God.
I mean,
I know.
you and I talked about this when we were watching practices. I literally asked you. I was like,
Yeah.
why are they putting the double toe on the Lutz? Why are they
Yeah.
not putting the
Why
double
is the
toe on the
Lutz in
flip?
combo?
It makes me so mad that program construction, them knowing that they max out their 2 double axle or their 2 double toes,
Yeah.
and they backload 2 of the combos, and there's no
Yeah.
chance for them to add on a double toe if they don't do it. And it's one of those things where I don't think in practice she's ever done something like this. Like in practice, it's usually she pops the flip, or she
Yeah. And then
does
puts the
the
triple
flip
toe.
and does the triple toe, or she falls on the flip, which actually, or no, or she falls on the triple flip, triple toe, right? Like, I don't think I ever
But she's
saw
gotten to
her.
the toe.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
either that she pops the flip and doesn't do anything at all, or she goes and falls on the triple flip, triple toe, but she gets to the triple toe. And they just had never, I don't think they ever foresaw this scenario where she doesn't actually do a combo.
Yeah.
And it kills me because I'm like, it is a mathematical mistake for you to be putting your layout in there like that. And I just,
Yeah. Yeah. I know. It's the issue in the first half of the program with the combo and the Lutz is so confusing because she's
it
only
is.
doing one Lutz.
Yeah.
Don't put it in combination.
And in
Yeah.
addition to that, right? Because the Lutz has the potential to get an unclear edge call. Putting the double
Yes.
toe on the Lutz actually makes it worse for that double toe
Because
because
then
the
the whole
GOEs.
element GOE is affected.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, why? Why is it there? Why?
Yeah.
Um,
I was quite confused by this situation with Isabeau as well when she fell on her opening flip and then just never added the intended triple toe anywhere else. So she just
yep.
didn't put it in. And you know, I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Like, does she just not have a contingency plan if that happens? Because she's fallen on that element before.
Yeah.
That
But
was
she usually
that was a
falls on the
mystery to
triple
me.
toe. That's also
Yeah.
the thing, right? She also,
Yeah. Yeah.
I again, I don't think that they had a contingency plan because in practice, she never misses the triple
Yeah.
flip. She misses the
Yeah.
triple toe.
Yeah. But then she has 3 solo jumps after that. Double axle, triple loop, triple sow. You can't add a triple toe onto any of those?
She doesn't do them.
Yeah.
She literally
I
only ever, I've ever only seen her do a triple flip, triple toe, or a triple Lutz, triple toe in all of the years that she skated.
will practice other stuff.
Well, I know.
I mean, Evan Lysacek used to go out and warm up all of his triples with a triple toe on the back
I
end.
know. I know.
You know,
I know. Yeah. Confusing. And let this
it
be
is confusing.
let these 2 case studies be a lesson to people figuring out what they're going to do. Like there has to be a plan B. You have got to figure out what it is that you have. Like when everything is down to a jump, a combo, like good Lord, it just it made me
Yeah.
it made me so sad that that gold medal was literally the matter of a single toe loop.
Yeah. Crazy.
It really is.
Yeah. Uh, Favorite performance of the whole women's event was the Ami Nakai short program.
Mm,
That was, I mean, incredible. And for her to be so young and to just go out and just be like, I'm just going to do this. I'm just having fun. And then she said afterwards, she's like, I'm not worried because I can't be Cowrie. I'm just going to have fun. It's like, good for you. Um, she did 2 clean axles in her 2 programs. They were like 2 of her best
yeah,
ever.
yeah.
I'm so happy she got on the podium. All those mistakes she made in the second half of her free skate were just like,
Oh,
girl, come on, come on.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
she was getting tight in the second half. I like
Yes.
what once she missed the triple lutz triple toe, you saw it in her
Yes.
face a little bit. It like
Yeah.
it finally sort of hit her that like, oh my God, podium. And like,
Yeah.
is it gone kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the loop was tight. The flip,
Mm-hmm.
you knew with all of those unclear edge calls that were being called that
Mm-hmm.
flip was going to get a call. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then the 3V on the combo spin, like what?
Yeah. Yeah. Like you can do that in your sleep.
Exactly. But like we were saying before on our previews, like she has that same sort of carefree, like, hey, I'm the
Mm-hmm.
third Japanese woman. It's my first Olympics.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do it. And
Yeah.
that, like, I agree with you. That short program, it was the best that anybody was skating there. And
Mm-hmm.
and she came out and she and Alyssa, I was saying she and Alyssa and Adelia were the only ones who came out there
Mm-hmm.
like being like, I'm just gonna skate how I usually skate, and everybody else was nervy. Like that short program was just,
Put Sam Adelkina on the list
oh
too.
yes, Samuel Delkino was fantastic and
Yeah.
completely
Yeah.
underscored, and it's not because she gave me a
Well,
really big pin. I I don't care that she got lower levels on her spins and stuff. Like she was
yeah.
scored correctly on the spins, she was leveled correctly on the spins, but she was not scored correctly on the GOEs for the rest of her elements.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but they came out and skated really well, and then everybody else was sort of skating like something was happening. The Olympics was happening,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
everybody was a little tight. Um, Monet Chiba, as well as she skated in those 2 programs, that she could have been a lot better.
Yeah. Monet.
I know.
Oh, I love her so much, and she just got a little tight. And the short program I thought was better than the free skate. The free skate was like, oh, breathe. Um, it was hard too, and she was so unhappy with herself afterward, and that was hard to watch too. You know, the the competition wasn't even over yet, and she was, melting down. I think she knew
Yeah.
it was over. I don't think she expected that we'd have her as a men's event, and we didn't. Thank God.
Right.
Yeah. Um, Petrosian was an interesting one to watch at this event. She came very late. Um, no triple axel in practice. Quad toe, she worked on a lot, and it was really not there. And it
But it
was
was
surprising that she was, planning the 2, I think.
but it was
Um,
there in warm up though.
yeah, well, not even warm up, but like the time she took the ice before she skated.
Yep.
Although I did see a video of it on TikTok, and I still think it would have gotten a Q.
Okay.
But even that would have been
Yeah.
fine.
It would have been different.
Um,
It would have been very different.
yeah, yeah, um, yeah. Um, there's a lot of aspects to her skating that I think um, we don't really have them as much in the international field now because we don't have, because the Russian skaters have been banned, but I also feel like because people are older and seeing some of those jump setups and the patterns and the uh, just the takeoff issues and things, it was sort of jarring to kind of have that, you know, in front of me again. Um, I think she should be happy with the way she competed. She did just about everything she could do.
Yeah.
In a weird situation, but
I thought what was interesting about her is if you looked at past Russian skaters from the Atari camp,
mm-hmm.
as much as you can talk about their stroking and their
Mm-hmm.
like lack of attention paid to choreography, especially during big elements, they often filled out the ice as much as they could.
Yeah.
And it was an interesting thing with her because you saw her fill out the ice in practice when she was doing the jumps by themselves. But when it came to the program itself in that free skate, once she fell on that quad toe at the very beginning, about 2.5 minutes of that program got incredibly cautious because she wanted to land the jumps. And therefore, everything just got smaller. And I thought that was interesting because I don't think, like, if Anna Sherbakova were out there doing that quad toe and she fell on it, I don't think it would have phased her like that. So it was very interesting to see how I think part of this was her lack of experience on the big stage. And part of it was her lack of experience competing in international events over the past 4 years, because if she was doing that in a domestic event, they would just give her those scores. Like they would just give her the scores that they would regularly give her, and like wouldn't have taken into account the rest of it. And they really took into account the rest of it. And frankly, like they could have been much harsher with their program components than they actually were.
Mm-hmm. I really saw that in both Petrosian and Gumenek. They did not have the power, the ice coverage, the speed that I think they would have. Like you could really tell they haven't been competing internationally. And I know Russia's domestic competition circuit is pretty developed, and they have really a lot of depth in their fields. But it just was smaller skating than I'm used to seeing. We were used to seeing from skaters from that federation.
Yeah. Well, and also when you look at women's skating, like post Russia ban or during Russia ban, the field of women and their basics have improved quite a bit too. And you saw that, like, even beyond the Japanese skaters, the American skaters, like you look at like Nina Petrokina, and you look at Anastasiia Gubanova, and you look at all of these skaters who've been around for the past 4 years, their standard has been Kaori Sakamoto, right? And they've when she's the one who's been winning 3 world championships, you as a skater, you're like, how do I get there? How do I then compete with that? And all of these skaters have been, that's what they're used to seeing, and that's what we're seeing a lot more of the last 4 years is bigger, fuller skating, even though you don't have necessarily the quads. But you know, we're still getting triple axels now. We're getting more triple axels than we have in the past. And the next 4 years will also be different. So yeah.
Petrokina was amazing. God, she was so clean. Both programs, she had so much attack. And her gala program was quite fun as well.
Cell block tango, what she's now become known for.
You know, I thought that Junwon Cha's acting was pretty great when he was poisoned to death, and the way he dropped dead. I was like, you can tell he has experience.
Oh,
on
he's
TV.
going to be an actor
natural.
after this.
Yeah.
No, Junwon Cha. I thought Junwon Cha was great in that exhibition. I thought Ilia overacted a little bit, but was hilarious. Hilarious.
Like, oh wait, you're shooting me now? Oh, I'm dead.
Yes.
And Tim Deek was great, and the where I was sitting up at where our booth was, Tim Deek was like directly across from us, and I like loved how he dropped dead and then did not move and laid there sprawled out dead on the boards throughout the rest of the performance. It was great.
Whereas everybody else just
well done.
like ran away.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
no, but like going back to the event, like Amber Glenn was a
Oh
triple loop
God.
and a step sequence away from the podium.
Crazy. I mean I wasn't surprised that she made that mistake in the short program, but
Yeah.
it is frustrating because it's like she's so good, and it's crazy that her skating is so strong, and yet, the mental stuff is what takes it away. And yeah, I I don't even know what to say. It's like,
The double loop still confuses me in the short program because I actually don't even
yes,
think that was mental. I think that was literally like a fluke. I slipped off my edge kind of thing. I don't know. It just
maybe,
the rest of the program was so good
yeah,
otherwise. Like she got through
yeah,
all the good stuff.
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's just that loop was her nemesis in both programs.
Mhm.
So that
Mhm.
that tells you something. But the that triple axle though, two of the best that we've seen her do.
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah.
They were really good.
But such deja vu from last year at
Mhm.
Worlds where it was like, oh well, Amber's climbing up
Yeah.
and she's
Yeah.
just waiting and waiting and waiting and then she ends up fifth. So
Yeah.
but Alyssa Liu, what can you
Unbelievable.
say about Alyssa Liu and the
I'm
way that she
enjoying the
does it?
Alyssa Liu phenomenon.
I know. 4.5 million Instagram followers. Like,
Crazy. Crazy.
I do wonder if there is
I have girls
a.
getting their hair done
I
like
know.
that.
Yeah, I know. Watch out. Watch out,
Yeah.
parents, for all these halos that
Yeah.
you're about to see and the
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
5 hour procedures that your daughters want
Yeah.
to do at the salon. Um,
Yeah.
but is this a resurgence of interest in the U.S. for figure skating finally because we have
Maybe.
a women's figure skater who actually won the Olympics? Like that's
Yeah.
something. Um, but gosh, I just the improbability of this whole thing, and not that she won it, but the
Hmm.
story of this whole journey from
Yeah.
Alyssa Liu, that she hated skating 4 years ago and left and then came back and was like, I'm going to
Hmm.
just do this on my own terms. I'm going to eat what I
Hmm.
want. I'm going to enjoy what I do. I'm going to train the
Hmm.
way that I train. And I think a lot of people mistake her carefreeness and her nonchalantness for
Hmm.
like a lack of care. Like I just said carefree and a lack of care, but like a lack of like
Hmm.
seriousness about her training. And she
Yeah.
is anything but not serious about her training. Like just because
Hmm.
she doesn't put the pressure on herself doesn't mean she doesn't expect it from herself, you know? Like
Hmm.
you watch her in practice, she is very regimented.
Yeah.
Anytime you see her do a practice in like non-run through days, she goes double axle, triple sow,
Hmm.
triple toe, triple loop,
Hmm.
triple flip. She does two of everything, and then she goes and does um her steps and her basic
Hmm.
skating and all of that stuff. It's very regimented and she knows exactly what she's doing. She knows exactly how to train and how to optimize her training so that she peaks at the right moment. And that's what you see.
Yeah.
It is not the fact
Yeah.
that she doesn't care, it is the fact that she figured out somehow how to
Hmm.
make her care just enough, but not too much to the point where it overtakes her brain.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't know what
I,
it is,
I think
Alyssa
it's
Liu. You did it.
I think it's kind of like people who are into running, and like they love to run and they do marathons and all this stuff, but they're like not trying to win anything. They're just trying to improve their time to be like the best version of themselves. And I think it's like it just matters to her that she's doing it and she's feeling it and she's maximizing it for herself. And it's like you have to be in competitive skating to have the simulation of the competition and everything. But I don't think the result is even, that's just, gravy. That's just extra. Um, and it's crazy because I feel like other skaters are just sort of in awe of her ability to relax to that degree.
Yeah.
But I think that's all also probably down to the fact that she spent so much time away from skating and kind of can see it from the outside. Um,
Yeah. Some people just have that
yeah.
perspective. That's just like
Mm-hmm.
so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Alyssa Liu, your Olympic champion. Who would have thought we would
Crazy.
say such things?
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy, Jackie. It's like unbelievable. And she never even had to like change anything. She still had that very like light back half of her program. Who has a solo double axel in the second half of their program? Like nobody. She just does it because it like works with the music, and it's like, oh, double axel. Okay, I'm done. I'm gonna dance now. Um,
I,
yeah,
you know how I said earlier in the season, I'm like, I
mm-hmm.
don't know how you make this program peak multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And she's made it peak multiple times. And
Yeah,
every single time it's peaked higher. Like
yeah,
she did it at Worlds and it was fantastic. She did it
yeah,
at Grand Prix final and it was better. And then
mm-hmm.
somehow in between Grand Prix final and now, she has
Yeah,
switched programs to Gaga and then come back to this program, and they were
yeah,
continuously making improvements to it. Even at the Olympics, we were seeing
yeah.
her and Masi Scali work on specific parts of that program to make it
Mm-hmm.
better, and it got
Mm-hmm.
better again. Like I just could not deal with
Yeah,
how she was able to do it. And Donna Summer in this arena was the best choice you could have made.
yeah, yeah. They loved it. It just hit the right way.
Yeah.
And um, yeah, I was telling Massimo when we were talking to him after the free skate that something about like the way that that music hit him, like he just felt the vibe in it and just really, I don't know how he was able to just kind of identify it as this like magic kind of like little entity that he could grow and grow and grow. But also by not doing it at nationals, she didn't give away that
Another
crowd
peak.
moment.
Another peak.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
We were talking about this earlier in the season. Her two programs, her original short
Mm-hmm.
program of this season
Mm-hmm.
was supposed to have been a retelling of her
Mm-hmm.
falling back in love with the sport, right? Last
Yeah.
year it was the whole thing was last year was supposed to have been Promise. Promise
Yeah.
was her saying, I wanted to distance myself from you and
Mm-hmm.
you being skating,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
couldn't. And so I'm back, right? Like that was the whole
Yeah.
point of the message of that program. And the
Mm-hmm.
original program for the season was supposed to have been the I am now in love with skating, and that's what you're
Yeah.
seeing here.
Yeah.
And then she had to scrap it because the artists
Singer murdered a teenager.
or I still don't know what the result of that whole investigation was. So I am yeah,
They
I have to
just
say
they haven't quite indicted him yet, but they're
yeah.
doing grand jury hearings.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. But MacArthur
I'm all
Park.
over it.
Yes. Thank you, Michelle, for being all over this thing. But
Yeah.
MacArthur Park also has a message. Like
Mm-hmm.
there is a very specific part of the music from Donna Summer that she has
Mm-hmm.
always been a huge fan of, which is this part where it was like, I'm taking my life in control
Mm-hmm.
into my own hands,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to do what I will with it.
Mm-hmm.
Both programs have a very specific message from Alyssa Liu, and that's one
Mm-hmm.
of the reasons why it is such a thing for her, and that's
Mm-hmm.
why for me Gaga never worked because she didn't connect with it
Yeah.
the way that she connects with this music.
Yeah.
And I do wonder, right? Like now that she's an Olympic champion, what is the music that she's going to then connect to that's gonna make it's gonna recreate some of this magic, because this was magical, very much.
Yeah.
So Alyssa Liu says she's going to Worlds and also says she is not done competing. So we will see what happens.
We'll see. I'm really interested to see who ends up going to Worlds. I don't know. Some of these dance teams, I'm like, really? But it looks like Piper and Paul are going. They're on the team, and Guilluame and Laurence said that they're going.
Yeah.
I don't know if Maddie and Evan will go. I hope they go on Dancing with the Stars and do that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have a feeling Piper and Paul aren't going to go. Who knows? I think that's the Skate Canada assignment, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't see 2, 3, 4, or 5 going. Or no, sorry, the 2, 3, or 4 going, which means, Emmy and Vadim and Lila and Lewis, right, are then the next two to potentially be up there. So,
do you think Charlene and Marco will go?
I can't imagine. I don't know. Who knows?
They can do the Paris event.
There could be
for Italy.
there could be a big changing of the guard at Worlds.
Yeah.
We're gonna take
It'll be interesting.
It will be. We're gonna take this particular part off of the actual podcast, but there are a couple of things in the chat that I just want to make sure I address, because there are some things here. Amber will not take the 3 turns out of the loop, because she always does 3 turns into the loop. I have never seen her do a triple loop without 3 turns into it. So no, that's never going to happen. Yeah. And she hates the triple sow cow. So none of that is going to happen. The loop is going to stay there, because that is one of her favorite jumps, literally one of her favorite jumps. It just messes with her. And then the other thing I wanted to address in the chat is Alyssa Liu has told us to pronounce her name as Alyssa Liu, because there was a time when all of us, including NBC, because that's, the NBC, including Michelle and many of the researchers, makes sure to get the names pronounced as the skater wants it to be pronounced. NBC was pronouncing it Alyssa Liu. I was pronouncing it Alyssa Liu. As, the Taiwanese spelling of that Chinese name would give you, it should be pronounced Liu. But she has asked the media to pronounce it Liu.
Yeah. She pronounces it Liu, but she wants us to say Liu.
But she wants us to say Liu. And also, there are many skaters who, for example, Luke Wang, who pronounces it Wang instead of what it should be pronounced as, which is Wong. And so all of those questions around why are you pronouncing it Liu and you're pronouncing it incorrectly, it is not because we're pronouncing it incorrectly. It is because that is what Alyssa Liu has asked us to pronounce it as. I am Chinese. I do know Mandarin and I do know Cantonese, and I do know that it is pronounced Liu. It's actually pronounced Liu, but that's not how we're pronouncing it. So there you go.
I mean, we
don't just make it up. We don't just make it up. Yeah. I want to be very clear about that. We try to get the names as the skaters would want us to pronounce it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that was my.
We also have the fun issue when a skater is speaking to someone who is American or English speaking, and they say their name in the American way. I remember Yulia Sebastian. We always called her Yulia, and I just once again checked, because we check every so often, and she said Julia Sebastian. I was like, Julia? We say Yulia. She's like, oh, you can call me Julia. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what we did, but that happened. So.
I mean, it was the same thing. It was the same thing with Josephine Taljegaard, right? Like she was like,
oh yeah, Josephine.
Yeah, she was also like, well, you the way I would pronounce it is actually Toyagord, Toyagord, to that effect, or like Saulius Ambrulevicius, right? Like I asked him how he wants it to be pronounced, and he was like, "Well, Solus is actually pronounced Solus, but call me Saul or call me Saulius, because that's how it would be better to be." So, yeah, all of that. Okay, we're gonna go away from this little tangent and back to the show.
We forgot to talk about one incredible women's short program, and that would be Luna Hendricks.
Luna
skating a brand new program at the Olympics to yet another Celine Dion song that was awesome after having two really awful injuries in the weeks leading up to the Olympics. And she made it. Like, that was a great short from her. Free skate was not as great, but, you know, I was so happy to see her and for her to make it. And she's a 3-time Olympian, and she's the only woman from 2018 Milan Worlds who made it to Milan Olympics, which is also crazy.
Yeah. I mean, also, first time she skated a clean short all season.
Yeah. She needed to surrender to Celine.
I mean, she also told us that she loves that song more than she loved Ashes. So
yeah.
the power of actually liking the program that you're skating to. So
the power of love.
The power of love. Celine Dion, Luna Hendricks, a Celine Dion stan. All right, we've talked for a couple hours now, so should we talk about?
Yeah, we have.
Should we talk about our faves? Like, let's not even talk about top 5 because we've talked about a lot of them.
Yeah.
Give me your, if not your favorite, your couple of favorites from memories from the Olympics.
Memories or performances?
Performances. Let's go performances.
Okay. I mean, I think I've mentioned them all. Miura Kihara individual free skate. Gilles and Poirier individual free dance. Guinard and Fabry team free dance. Shun Sato team free skate. He was under so much pressure. He was so stressed, and he went out there and went as clean as he can go. Yeah. I really hope that he spends time in this off season after Worlds working on his spins and steps. Call someone, please. You can do it. You can do it. If you can do a quad Lutz that is that clean, you can do a level 4 camel spin. I promise. And Yuma. I mean, Yuma short program. Yeah. I really liked some of the like Olympic moments we had and the like lower level skaters, not lower level, but bottom half of the standings sheet. Like Ida Karhunen skating so well in her 2-2, and Julia Sauter in that free skate was awesome. Olga Mikutina, who was so excited that we interviewed her in the mix zone. She was like, "Me?" I was like, "Yes, you." And she skated so well in both of her programs.
The joy of Montclair University in New Jersey.
Yes. Really laid it down. Yeah. I talked about Hockey Kunkel. They were awesome in both programs. Yeah. God. I don't know. I think I've covered most of it. Becker and Hernandez in their both of their programs, they skated up. They were so good. And it's really interesting because it feels like they took a while from their junior to senior career to kind of really get into the mode of being a senior team. And the teams that were with them at Junior Worlds didn't have that much of an issue. The Mrazeks, Ye Kwan and Hannah Lim, the Canadian team split up. But those other two teams, like they really moved into senior with more efficiency. And I think that once Becker Hernandez sort of kind of like found their groove, they qualified for the Olympics and they skated so well.
Yeah.
Both programs were great.
They're so classic too. I love their skating.
Yeah. They were one of the teams that Tracy Wilson saw for the first time and was like, wow, I love them. So, yeah, they were great. Who else have we not mentioned? Um,
Julia Sauter.
God. Yeah, we talked about her.
Oh, did we?
Or I did.
Did you?
I did briefly. I
Oh.
just said I said great free skate. Yeah,
Oh,
but you go for it.
it. No, well, okay.
Clean jumps.
So, I mean, her triplets is chef's kiss. Just
Yeah.
love that jump for her.
Yeah.
No, I mean, for me, absolutely Piper and Paul. I mean, I was,
Mm-hmm.
if anybody, like, luckily, I know there was a TikTok video of me typing. Luckily, there is no TikTok video of me crying during Gilles Poirier's free dance because I was
I know.
ugly crying that entire
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
That was
You and
that's
Paul
still. I mean, yeah, that was still one of my favorites
Mm-hmm.
of the whole thing. Junwan Cha's
Mm-hmm.
short program is up
Yes.
there. Matteo Rizzo
June.
and his Interstellar in the
Mm-hmm.
team event. I mean, he was certainly one of those who couldn't replicate what happened in the team event, but
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have without the like huge support from his team either. I think he was one
Mm-hmm.
of those people who really benefited from that. Um, I thought those were
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal skates. The 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 Miura, Kihara, and Alyssa Liu free skates, like those will live in my brain rent free for the
Mm-hmm.
rest of my life.
Yeah.
There were just so many
Yeah.
amazing moments. As much as there was some chaos at these Olympics, there were so many
Mm-hmm.
things that like I will never forget, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll just it's the Olympics really does bring out something
Mm-hmm.
that you never see anywhere else, and some of these
Mm-hmm.
skates were just so amazing. So
Mm-hmm.
well,
Yeah.
I think that's it for our marathon episode. We're at 2 hours 15 minutes now.
Oh my God. Okay.
Well, we have two more big events coming up. We've got Junior Worlds next week,
Yeah.
and then
Oh
we've
my
got
gosh, is it next week?
it is next
Ugh,
weekend. Yeah, yeah.
so much skating.
we have a week to recover, and then
Mm-hmm.
we have the World Championships in Prague coming up. So get ready for all of that. But before
Are you
that,
on site to Worlds?
yeah, I'll be at Worlds in person.
Nice.
Are you not going? You're not going.
No, I'm not going.
Ah.
I'm actually going to LA that weekend because I am treating myself to seeing Melissa Oftermar at her a book party thing she's doing, the bass player from Hole, and I bought a ticket and I was like, I'm gonna go.
Interesting.
So this is like my identity as a teenager was not figure skater or a figure skater fan. It was a Hole fan. So I'm treating myself to that.
Well, that was
So.
like your Oasis concert right before.
Oh yeah. Oh, Oasis doesn't even come close. Courtney Love is like the love of my life. Yeah. Yeah. So
Oh, one quick tangent before we finish this episode.
yes.
Michelle, you need to watch a series on Netflix called The Boyfriend.
Okay.
It is
You watch it on the plane?
it is a I watched season 2 on the plane. It
Yeah.
is a Japanese reality dating show where
Ooh.
they put a bunch of men together in a house and they make them fall in love.
That sounds amazing.
And it's the most wholesome thing you could possibly watch.
Aw,
Season 2 is better than season 1, so go watch it.
cute.
Um,
Well, you need to
Wow.
watch Interview with the Vampire, by
I
the way,
know we gotta, yeah, we
so you can
talked
get my
about
Claudia references.
that. While we wait
Not the show, the movie.
the movie, while we wait for the second season of Heated Rivalry, which will not drop until 2027. All right.
You know, I feel like the U.S. hockey team has squandered a lot of the goodwill that Heated Rivalry created, and I need more Heated Rivalry to come out because I'm not enjoying these stories.
Well, before we go to Junior Worlds and Worlds, there will be a very special interview coming out with Yuna Aoki that I
Oh,
did
yay.
in Milan. That should be coming out this week, and we'll have more content. I'm
Mm-hmm.
scheming something about my pin collection that I will do with some other folks that
Mm.
will be potentially interesting. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully, I get it together. But we'll be back Sunday with our preview of Junior Worlds, and we will have lots more to come before the end of the season. There's still plenty of skating to come. So, Michelle, any final thoughts?
I have 5 days to remember who all the junior skaters are, so I'll
Exactly.
get on that.
Exactly. At least this time around, we're not doing five different
Yeah.
previews for the five different disciplines of the Olympics.
Oh
Um,
my God. We should go through our previews and see how right we were. I know I was pretty wrong, but we both had I had the top five women correct, but in the wrong order. Um, you had Isabel up there instead of Monet,
I did,
so
yeah. I did.
I got Amber in the right spot, and that's it. Everyone else was in the wrong order.
Yeah, no, I think we did a really bad job. Um,
Yeah.
anyway, so for Michelle Ellis, this is Jackie Wong, Chief Skate Nerd of RockerSkating.com. Thanks, as always, to our sponsors from John Wilson Blades. And thanks to Tara Nichols for listening to all of this and putting it all
Godspeed.
together. And we'll talk to you again very soon. Bye.